For listeners who think that PCBs are mostly legacy pollutants, why are they still such a big problem today?
So one thing is that something has been regulated that you should not use it. Another thing is that something has been banned. So PCB, as we all know, is legacy. It has been banned. Nobody is really producing it again. But the fact is, some of the old transformer, for instance, some of the old electrical equipment, some of them still contain this pollutant. And now, when there's rainfall, when there's this rain wash some of the pollutant off to the river. And beyond that, when they use them in those olden days, some of them that got to the river, they settled in the sediment. And now when you disturb those river, they remobilize back to the surface water. And that is why monitoring them is very, very important. That something is legacy, that something is outlaw, does not mean they are no longer in the environment.
What makes PCBs particularly challenging analytically and environmentally compared to other contaminants, and why are they so persistent in aquatic systems?
So one thing is that PCB is hydrophobic. When we say something is hydrophobic, it means it's not something that is water loving. So because of that, it settles in the sediment. And as they don't easily degrade, they are not thermally degradable. And as a result of that, they get into the sediment. And when they get into the sediment, if you disturb the sediment at any point, they come back to the surface water. And again, they have different congeners. And those congeners, they can get buried in the matrices that you have in the water. Water, the river is a complex system where you have different things. So when you want to separate them, you get them mixed up with different things, and it's always very difficult to separate. And again, because those things have been outlawed, you see them in trace amounts. And when you see them in trace amounts, sometimes people will not see them. They will just say, oh, nothing is there. So you need to pay careful attention and use the right instrument, the right method before you can detect them.